Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vishal Kumar. So as you would have seen in the title, I had a huge fight over a sofa and eventually the sofa won. So there is no lying in it. To help understand this story better, let me get to the beginning of the story first. It all started when my mother, had gone to a relative's house. There they had this sofa. They were not using it. They said anybody can have it, and my mother thought it was a good idea to bring it. Now I had no problem with her bringing the sofa, but the whole point is the house or the apartment that we live in is small and it's already crammed with a lot of items, and there was no space to keep these sofas. So she bought it. I didn't argue with her anyways. So it was making her happy. So let her keep it, right? What is the problem in it? She bought it. She kept it. Now a day passed. Everybody realized that there was not enough space for the sofas to go in. To give you a context, the sofa comprised of a two-seater, a single-seater and a single-seater. Totally 3 sets where 4 people can sit. So what happened was, she decided that since the other place didn't have enough space, she bought the 2 single-seater sofas and dumped it in my room. Now this is where I got frustrated. I had gone to work, I came back. When I came back and entered my room, there was just 2 single-seater sofas in my room. As I earlier said, the whole room was already cramped. There was not enough space for me to walk around or to keep any other stuff as it is. I had kept a little bit of open space so that my pet could sleep. So she, cramping up the sofas made me a lot angry. Now to put into her context, she said it will be only for a couple of days, and previously the couple of days has extended to couple of months as well. So this got me really angry. I had a very hectic day at office, and my anger was at its peak. Now she came back home. It is around maybe 4 or 5 days after the sofa is being bought in. Immediately as she came into the house, I started arguing with her. The argument went to such an extent that we started speaking about separating our ways. And it was very intense. I know she said a few words she didn't mean to. I said a few words that I didn't mean to. And then I was so frustrated, I took my dog out for a walk. In the walk, I did realize a few things, about what I said, what I shouldn't have said actually. The first thing is, I am living in her house. I'm not paying her any rent. And she does so much for me. And for just the 2 sofas that she had put into my room, that too temporarily, I said a very, nasty things to her. It kind of made me realize how entitled I am. I don't, take into consideration what other people's feelings are. This realization really hit me hard, right? So I came back home and, to my surprise or to my disappointment actually, I thought of letting the sofa stay so that it would make my mother happy, but she had taken out the sofas. She, from her point of view, understood that the room was crammed and it was what she was doing was wrong, but that was very small effect. To give you a context, my mother was not sleeping well for the last 4 or 5 nights because of some unfortunate set of events. She had to be at her relative's house, helping other people. She had lost her sleep. She had, sacrificed her health. And she, selflessly had helped a lot of people. And me being here, judging her over a couple of sofas. So I decided, it's a very bad thing that I have done. One of the most important things in philosophy is, knowing when to be reactive, when to be proactive. You have to understand not everything is same. if we study a lot and if we have understood a few things well, and if we don't use it in action, what is the point of learning, right? I had studied all these philosophies, and at the end of the day, I didn't apply anything. If I had just left food for a night, let her had a good sleep, in the morning, even if I had asked her to take it out, she might have taken it out. Or even I would have cooled down and let the sofa stay as it is. Maybe I would have come out with a solution. But no, I let the anger at that moment take control over me. I had learned a story about Buddha and anger. Maybe that is for some other day. But the whole point is, anger is, you should not give in to anger. It will pass. Anger, most of the times, hurts you rather than the person it is intended to. You are getting destroyed rather than the intending person. So I realized, after knowing all these things, I still chose to get angry. I still chose to upset the other person whom I love over a petty thing, right? Which could have been avoided altogether if I had been a little more, considerate. This proverb, think before you speak. It goes a long way, right? You should not give in to the moment. The truth to be said, after all the things that a person has gone through just to make sure that you are happy, and you repaying someone, very badly, repaying that very badly, how would you as a person make you feel, right? You have done a lot of things for them and they repay you like this. I did realize all this. I came back home, I got my mother a chocolate, I said sorry. But sorry will only ease your pain a little bit, right? You have done things, you have already said things, you can't take it back. Sometimes it is words that are much more damaging than the actions. Sometimes you would forgive a person who has hit you rather than a person who has scolded you or hurt you deeply. So words go a long way. That is why people have said pen is mightier than a sword. So what you write is more important than a sword. So having realized that, I did try to make amends. But going forward, the whole intention, or therefore my whole intention would be, to think before speaking, or understand what I am going through, understand what the other person is going through. Just not, it is not always about yourself. It's not always about me. It's always about everybody in the picture, right? The people whom you love, the people who has taken care of you. All those things matter. Just because, you feel entitled, or just because you feel right, doesn't mean you're right, or doesn't mean you're entitled to it. It's a long way coming, for me at least, to understand this. Going forward, I hope, or my overall goal is to, understand something, or just understand the context, understand the other person, be considerate, be more empathetical, and then take decisions, rather than just, out of harshness, or just out of what I want, I don't want to take decisions.